Hello, friends, and welcome to Facetime. Welcome back to Facetime, as a matter of fact. I hope that you very much enjoyed our first episode that we did yesterday, which was about the topic of baseball. Again, just to refresh you on our topics for this week, they are all on sports and games. So this week I'm going to be leading you through a discussion about all different sorts of things ranging from baseball, like we talked about yesterday. Today's topic will be based upon football. But we're also going to cover some basketball, some hockey, and some other things during our time this week. So again, 1 o'clock to 1:30 on our Facebook page for Sports Zone 101. And follow along, interact with us, ask us any questions that you have. Most importantly, I hope that you enjoy being able to have something consistent that you can take a look at each day. But also, my goal is to educate you a little bit more about all these wonderful activities that we can learn more about. So again, this week our sports and games is our topic and our theme. Today we're going to be talking about football. And I know that's a very popular game for some of our young friends that participate in our Sports Zone 101 programs. I know many of you play flag football, but I know some who started out maybe at a younger age are now advanced enough where they are playing either Pop Warner or maybe high school football, or are lucky enough to even play in collegiate or even in the professionals. We will be talking on this episode too about the NFL, a little bit of history about it. And then we're also going to be leading some very exciting discussion about some top moments in Patriots history. We're going to be really emphasizing the Patriots on this episode. And we're also going to look at some top players, like I said, and some top moments again, too. So hopefully you enjoy it and you learn some great information today on our episode. Now, if you got a chance to see my hat before we begin this episode here, I am wearing the second Super Bowl championship hat from the Patriots. That was from 2004 when the Patriots beat the Carolina Panthers. So in case you were wondering about the hat design, that's my hat theme for today. My question here on football, before we get into a brief explanation of how everything goes, is how many of you actually play the game? If you play the game, flag football, Pop Warner, shoot us a comment here on our page so we can get an idea of how many of you are actively participating in football. I know football, for the most part, for many of you, is in the fall. So you might not be playing it right now, but if you've played it in the past, please let us know right there too. I know there are a lot of likes in playing football, and there are a lot of dislikes. I played football when I was in high school, and I played it for 2 years. Many of you know, I'm a big baseball fan. I'm a big baseball player from everything too back when I played. I particularly didn't love football. I didn't like getting hit. I didn't like the thought of somebody coming and tackling me and everything like that. It's not a game for everybody, and I totally understand that. But I did get a chance to experience what it was like to be on a team, what it was like to go through kind of the daily grind as a football player. And I will tell you, it is a lot of work. So I tip my cap to all of those that do play the game. I guess my next question is, how long have you been playing? I know some have been playing it all their life. Like for me, for baseball, I played it all my life. If there are some of you that have just started out, please tell me. Please tell us right here on our Facebook page. And then if you haven't played but maybe are interested in playing down the line, I'd like to know a little bit about that too. So shoot us a little comment, shoot us a little message right there to let us know. And it'll be interesting to see what we get for some of the results too. I right now want to go into a brief video that's going to explain what football is. I think it helps to kind of dumb it down a little bit so everybody gets an idea of how this game is played, in case some of you may not have played it from before. So let's take a look at that video right now, as a matter of fact.
American football is a game played on a 100-yard field by two teams of 11 players. In the NFL, squads of 53 players make up each side's offensive, defensive, and special teams units that take turns on the field. The aim of the game is move the ball into the opponent's end zone to score a touchdown and extra point. This is achieved by moving the ball down the field in a series of plays or downs. They can do this either by passing the ball through the air from quarterback to receiver or by a running back rushing the ball along the ground. The offense must move the ball at least 10 yards downfield every 4 plays in order to keep possession of the ball and earn another 4 downs to drive towards the opponent's end zone. If the defense prevent them making these 10 yards, the team with the ball must either punt possession of the ball to the opposition or, if close enough, attempt to kick a field goal between the upright posts. After 4 15-minute quarters of play, the team with the most points wins the game.
So there you have it, a very simple video on how the game is played. Obviously, just to recap that video, the main objective is to score in one of the end zones from your opponent. When you get a touchdown, that is typically 6 points. You have the choice of either going for that extra point through kick, or you could go through something that's called a 2-point conversion. To get 2 points, you would have to have the quarterback pass it inside that end zone to get the points there. It's played on 100 yards, so you have to get from obviously that 1 yard line down one side all the way down to the other end to score that touchdown. Another question that you might have about football is, when did it start? When did football first come into the United States and start becoming the big game that it is for today? So that started in 1869, long time ago. That was back in the 19th century. Does anybody have a guess on who were the first 2 teams to play? I will give you a hint. They are not, this had nothing to do with the NFL yet because it was not founded. Did you give up? Did you have a chance to think about who it might be? Well, it happened to be 2 college teams, and that was Princeton University and Rutgers. Those are the 2 teams that faced off against one another to start football from right there. So how about that? Those 2 prestigious universities right there were our 2 teams, or our 2 college universities that started football. How about that? There was a very important, influential person that was kind of like the founding father of how football began. And I can't do this show without mentioning his name. So here's a little history lesson for you today on a man named Walter Camp. Walter Camp was very influential in developing the rules and the structure of what present-day football is right now. Another question that you might have is, when was the NFL founded? So that was in 1920, right after World War I. When the NFL first started, though, there were only 10 teams. So it was not anything like it was today. It took till 1960 for the NFL, and at the time, the AFL, which is the American Football League, to merge into one. And when they merged into one, that's when the present-day NFL kind of came about. That's when Super Bowls started to get going, and what we see today is from 1960 on. So quite a jump right there from the early beginnings from the 1920s all the way to the 1960s. The NFL has become, the most powerful sports organization there is right now in America, and it's got one of the most watched events, which is the Super Bowl, every year, and it's one of the most watched events throughout all of sports. It's pretty remarkable on what the NFL has gone through from its early beginnings and then to now. The original teams, so back when it was in the 1920s, there were only 2 original teams that started from the 20s and are still currently going on right now for organizations. Would anybody like to take a guess on that? I do think some of you may be guessing the Green Bay Packers. How many of you think that that is one of the teams? If you think it is, shoot us a comment right here. Have you got a chance to think about it? The 2 teams happen to be the Chicago Bears and the Arizona Cardinals. Now, their names have changed throughout the years, but those are the two consistents that have remained a part of the NFL since its early days in the 1920s. So very, very interesting right there on those two teams. I personally, without knowing any of that information, probably would have known that. So I hope that you've been able to get a little bit more educated about football, the NFL, and also, of course, learning about all these new different things that we just talked about here on our topic here for football. One of my goals each day here on FaceTime is to give some sort of a structured activity that correlates to our topic that we're talking about today, being football. Now, I realize that you're not able to really play football from home or outside, really. Social distancing is still big time in play here, so I am not encouraging you to go be out playing with your friends, not at this time. So for this activity, this is going to involve doing something that's a little bit more physical, and you can do this on your own. Really, all you need are a set of cones. We're going to take a look at this video of exactly what I'd like you to do to help improve your game for playing football. So let's take a look at that.
Hi, my name is Trevor Teisman from KBandsTraining.com. I'm going to give you a good football drill that you can do by yourself. Set up 4 cones with a little bit of space in between, and you're going to develop some leg strength and speed with the K-bands in a box drill. We've got lateral shuffles, forward sprints, and then back pedals, working on all dynamics of the way that we'll move on the field. If you don't have access to a weight room and you don't have access to a coach or anyone to help you train, drills like this are going to help you improve your mobility on the field way more than sitting on the couch. So I promise you, if you get out there and you do 4 to 6 resisted rounds followed by 2 to 3 unresisted rounds, you're going to feel a big difference in the way you're moving. Add different types of drills to this and get you a great at-home or on the field training by yourself with 4 or 5 different exercises, all piled up with reps and sets. You're going to have a good 45-minute to an hour workout. It's going to make you better than you were the day before. If you're looking for more football,
So that right there is a great how-to video on how to keep moving, but also to keep training. Right there is great for speed. If you've been to any football camps or football programs, that's one of the drills they do. They make that box out of the 4 cones, and you can do different things. You don't have to follow it exactly like that. You could be doing shuffles, you could be doing squat jumps, you could be doing just regular running around all 4 of those cones. But those are ways that can help improve not just your football skills, but those could help even for baseball or hockey or basketball. The more agility that you do in these games, the better that you can be, on the field when you're performing and participating. As we talked about earlier in our introduction about the NFL and all things football, there was one team that I really didn't talk about that much, and that was for a reason. Patriots are one of my teams that I absolutely have loved ever since I was a kid, and that is going to be our main topic here today, is talking about a little bit of the history, some top moments, some top players that the Patriots have had in their history. So one of the things that starts with the Patriots is you got to figure out when exactly they started. So the Patriots started back and were founded back in 1959. They were not the New England Patriots at the start. They happened to be called the Boston Patriots. I don't know if any of you knew about that information, but at the very beginning, the Patriots, it was not the New England Patriots. That was not until 1970 when the Patriots pretty much are like present day right now. This is a great time for me to start talking about some of the top moments that have been in Patriots history. So we've been lucky enough, at least I've been lucky enough, to see 6 Super Bowls. It's been an incredible ride for the New England Patriots, and there's been so many special moments to look at that it's hard to cover them all in this episode here on FaceTime. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you the top 3. We're going to count it down 3, 2, and 1, but we're going to share you the link of the video that shows some of the moments that the Patriots had in their history. So right now, let's take a look at that video, and then we'll talk about those moments from that video after it's done.
Russell in the pocket. Russell for Carson. That's broken up again. And is it? But somehow, football?
I think Butler hit it and it fell right back down to the ground. Unbelievable. That's exactly what happened, isn't it?
Well, Curse goes for it. It's still not on the ground. It's still not on the ground. It's still, well, look at that.
Oh, my, I can't believe he didn't get up and get in the end zone in time.
And then Butler takes him out. So he breaks up the play. But at the end of the day, look at that. Does a juggling act. Has it to the 5, first and goal, 33 yards.
How many different plays are the Patriots going to have like this? Yep. Mario Manningham, David Tyree.
Right.
And now a Curse.
This was where Tyree had the helmet catch. This was the scene of the crime for New England.
And Tom Brady had that look on his face like, you got to be kidding me, not again.
Here you go back to Super Bowl 42. Tyree makes the catch. Our buddy Rodney Harrison had a bird's eye view. Plexico Burress winds up with the touchdown to win the game and end what would have been a perfect season for the Patriots. They were 18-0 coming in. Here he goes. Beast mode to the half-yard line on the left. Play clock at 5. Pass is intercepted at the goal line by Malcolm Butler. Unreal. Malcolm Butler, who almost made the phenomenal play that wound up in Brady.
Tom Brady taking a knee.
And now it's setting in. I think everyone on his team starting to realize, and look at the congratulations in the huddle. They all wanted this one very badly for him as well. And it's a neat scene here in New England.
The most wins ever for an NFL quarterback. 201 for 12.
He's going to keep that football.
Fans with the win today. Tom Brady has now become the NFL's all-time TB12.
All-time winningest quarterback is Tom Brady with his 201st win today.
Brady, end zone touchdown. Amendola. A direct snap. And it's good. James White, 8-point game. Here's Edelman broken up, and the pass is no sign yet. Edelman comes down with a football, and they're saying it's a catch. Alford knocked it up into the air, and let's see who comes down with it. Oh, that's a catch. Oh, my God. That's incredible. That's amazing concentration by Julian Edelman to be able to make a play on that.
Is challenging the ruling on the field of a completed pass. We'll review the play.
The ball was resting on the arm of Ricardo Allen, and Edelman able to re-grab it before he hits the ground. I checked with Mike Pereira in our booth. He thinks it's a catch, and the play is being challenged by Atlanta. And it should have been an interception by Robert Alford. Handoff. Touchdown, James White. Even if it is time for Atlanta. Pass, Amendola. Flag is down. Amendola's in. But it depends on the penalty. Sideline. What a throw, Amendola. Brady. Pass is caught. Hogan. Inside the 40. Brady down the gut. Pass is caught. Fake it to Hogan. Flip it to White. Looking for blocks. Getting blocks inside the 20. Out of bounds at the 15. Toss to White. He's in. Patriots win the Super Bowl. Brady.
I could rewatch that Atlanta Super Bowl with the Patriots when they came back when they were down 28-3 any day, anytime. That was one of the most unbelievable things I've ever seen in sports, where they came back and being down as much as they were, came back and won that game. I will never forget that in my lifetime. That absolutely is number one for me, but yours might be different. So if you have a special moment that was not shown here, again, you can take a look at this video that I just showed here. It's long, so I'm not going to show everything there. I showed the top three. So the top three, number 3 was the Super Bowl comeback, Super Bowl unbelievable interception there from Malcolm Butler. Number 2 was Tom Brady's 200th career win as a quarterback. And then number 1, again, was the Atlanta and the Patriots Super Bowl being down 28-3. So if yours are different, like there was some way back from all the way from 2001, 2003, and 4 with kicks to win the game for field goals with Adam Vinatieri. Where would they be without him? That's another important player there. So if you have something different, gladly let us know here and comment, and take a look at this video to see some more of the special moments that the Patriots have had in their history. Before we jump into the top players that the Patriots have had in their existence in their franchise, I think it's important that I show you this wonderful, wonderful link right here of the New England Patriots Hall of Fame. And I'm not going to read every single name here, but I am going to show you a picture right now that shows all of the members that are in the New England Patriots Hall of Fame, okay? And you can see that right there. You can probably remember maybe some big names that used to play there for the team. Amazingly, Drew Bledsoe, the quarterback before Tom Brady, he is in the Patriots Hall of Fame. But we also have some players who are in the Pro Hall of Fame. These ones I am going to list. That is because that is the Professional Hall of Fame is in Canton, Ohio. The NFL that have played in the NFL. These are the names of the players that are in the NFL Hall of Fame or Pro Football Hall of Fame. John Hanna, Mike Haynes, Nick Buoniconti, Andre Tippett, Curtis Martin, Junior Seau, Randy Moss, Ty Law, and then Bill Parcells as a coach and then an executive. I personally feel this list is going to be expanded. Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, Julian Edelman, all those names could be up there at some point. Next, we are going to take a look at some of the players that we might rank in our top 10 or top 5 of all time. I am not going to show all of these videos, but here is a great link right here that shows from the NFL Films collection the top 10 Patriots of all time. It starts with Adam Vinatieri at number 10, number 9, Stanley Morgan, number 8, Steve Nelson, number 7, Troy Brown, one of my favorite players that the Patriots have had, number 6, Ty Law, another favorite of mine. Ty Law is lucky enough to be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame too. Mike Haynes, another great player back in the Patriots' day, number 5 on that ranking. Number 7, Andre Tippett. Number 4, Andre Tippett. Number 3, we're going to take a look at Rob Gronkowski's video right now.
Number 3 New England Patriot of all time, Rob Gronkowski.
There's like the Patriot way of doing things, and he is so far outside of that.
Hit him,
If you're going to behave like that, you better be a baller on the field, but he's a baller on the field.
Our number 3 Patriot has been getting it done since he arrived in New England. In 2010, he set the team's rookie touchdown record with 10, and he's continued to be a problem for opposing defenses ever since.
He throws to Gronkowski. He has a touchdown.
Gronk's a beast. He's a beast.
He's such an incredible athlete, but yet he's always out in left field. I would never think that Bill Belichick and Rob Gronkowski would be able to be in the same room together, but somehow they get along. It's so weird that it works so well.
Never seen Bill Belichick laughing, joking with the player. You gotta think he likes number 87.
I love this person because he feels prehistoric.
Me Gronk, me want ball.
Don't do algebra around Gronk, I've learned. He could eat the man who knows algebra. 2x equals 5? No. 2x equals you have been eaten by Gronk.
Gronk needs protein.
You can't have enough, man.
I don't normally like having these young players on an all-time list, but Gronk is different.
My God, what a catch!
He's an impossible matchup. And he poses with kittens. It's totally normal.
I don't think I've ever seen a name or a nickname fit a player more in the history of the NFL than Gronk. He's beyond even a celebrity now.
Touchdown, Rob Gronkowski.
What's greater than the Gronk spike?
He spikes it with a mighty spike.
The guy has actually made the jump from not just being like a great football player, he's a verb.
Whoa, Gronk watermelons. Whoa, Gronk a pinata mustache.
Oh, candy.
This cult of personality crap that goes on now, is it foolish? Let's stick to the football.
Tom Brady has found Rob Gronkowski for a New England touchdown. They have surpassed the connection of Drew Bledsoe to Ben Coates as the most productive quarterback to tight end combination for scores in New England history.
Every time he makes a play, you giggle like a little schoolgirl.
Tom backs up, throws for Gronkowski, makes the grab at the 20, spins away from a defender, stiff arms another.
Every time he catches it and starts running,
touchdown Patriots!
I am sitting there like,
look at that run by Gronk. Damn, I gotta stop. I'm being a groupie.
People will say you're rushing it, but no, he belongs in it. This is a generational player. Give me 21 Gronks and a quarterback, and I'll take my chances.
I personally hope that Gronk still comes back at some point in football. Whether that happens or not, we don't know, but it's still up in the air if Gronk is officially going to stay retired. He keeps toying with the idea that he might need just a little rest. What do you think? Do you think Gronk is done? If you think Gronk is officially retired and not coming back, shoot us a comment, shoot us a message. If you think that Gronk is going to come back, shoot us a message right here. The one thing that I will be careful with in saying is that now that Tom Brady is no longer a Patriot, will Gronk come back? That's the big question right there. I'll leave my opinions out of it, and I'll have you be the judge on what happens with Gronkowski. The number one person on the list, we're going to actually skip John Hannah. If you'd like to see the John Hannah clip, you're more than welcome to follow that link that we'll provide you to take a look at it on your own time. But right now I want to show the Tom Brady, top player of all time for the New England Patriots. And then we will discuss it when done.
And now, the number one New England Patriot of all time. Finally, Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
There really is no other choice.
Super Tom.
There's no debate to really be had.
Tom.
Best ever. Ever. I don't know about that. Ever. I love you, but I don't know about that. Ever.
To be number one on a list like this, you have to be wicked good. Tom Brady owns nearly every team passing record, from touchdowns in a game,
6 touchdown passes for Brady,
to touchdowns in a season.
Brady fires it down the right sideline and caught for Tom Brady. Touchdown pass number 50.
To touchdowns in a career.
He's the franchise.
Just another day at the office. He's the greatest quarterback ever to live on this earth. He's won 4 Super Bowls in the modern day era with the salary cap. Tommy's number one.
He has won all of the bowls. He has so many rings. He has so many rings. You know, he's like a Vegas performer.
The top 100 players list every year. He's top 5, despite the fact that he's 38 years old.
Our top Patriot of all time got his start in 2001 when New England's then franchise quarterback Wally Pipp, I mean Drew Bledsoe, took a faithful run.
Mo Lewis with a tough hit on Bledsoe.
Tom Brady owes Mo Lewis. I owe Mo Lewis. There's Mother's Day, and then there's Mo Lewis Day. Make sure you send your flowers.
Even though Drew Bledsoe was a $100 million quarterback, Tom Brady changed what it means to be a franchise quarterback in New England and to be a New England Patriot.
Rise up. Hey, take it to another level, right?
His ability to get everyone to buy in as a leader, to be able to get an extraordinary level of performance, those are the things that make him the perfect Patriot.
Go, Fish! Time to roll!
In training camp, I was never more motivated to snap the ball well so much in my life. He would look at me and say, all right, Ross, me and you, great snap first, let's do it. All right, Tom, I will. Here we overtime. Let's do it.
Foxborough loves Tom Brady. He's the Bay Area boy and has a glamour to his lifestyle, and yet the blue-collar, hardcore New England fan has embraced him as one of their own.
Tom Brady, overrated.
I love the Tom Brady haters. Yeah, I guess I'll bring up Deflategate.
Now you're going to bring up this crap and you're going to try to discredit our Tommy. That's not going to happen.
His legacy is still secure. The people who love him even more now. And the people who didn't like him are just going to double down on that dislike.
He's perfect. He's like this perfect specimen.
Unicorns! Show ponies! Where's the beef?
Just leave that photo of Brady up forever. It would be fine by me.
Love it. Love it.
Can you make it look like we're kissing each other?
Hell yeah, man.
Guys, this is so creepy.
Of Boston's fabric. Tom Brady or Boston baked beans and Boston cream pie. Tom Brady is at the top of the mountain.
Tom Brady so dominates this list, we have to find other ways to compare him in the annals of New England war. Clam chowder has to be ahead of Tom Brady, right?
That sucks.
Best, and he's number one.
So there you have it. Tom Brady as number one right there. Again, you can take a look at. You can take a look at more of those highlights there from the NFL Films collection and judge for yourself who you think really is number one. The last thing we want to do here before we wrap up our FaceTime episode for today is I have a activity that I am going to encourage you to do to keep on that theme of football. And I'm going to encourage you to play a game of Madden. So you can play it on whatever device, whatever game system that you have. But it's a great learning device for those that do play the game, where you can play off against different teams. You can play different friends and opponents, whether you're online. It helps you strategize also to figure out how you're going to win in your game. And it helps for competing too. So I encourage you to play that game for Madden or any kind of football video game right there to continue to stay involved with football while we're on our quarantine and our social distancing. I hope everybody got a chance to enjoy this episode today of FaceTime. Again, please interact with us on our Facebook page. Again, we're with you from 1 o'clock to 1:30 every Monday through Friday right now with different topics and different themes. For tomorrow's episode, we are going to be talking about basketball. And we're going to be doing some different activities with you about basketball too. So tune in tomorrow for our next episode, and I look forward to seeing you next time.